different about today. Not louder and not more polished, just heavier. Because when you miss a moment, you don't just pick back up where you left off. You come back with intention. You come back with awareness. You come back ready to look a little deeper. And today, we're not just looking into the mirror as individuals, we're looking into the mirror as a country, the Mirror USA. And I need you to sit with this, not as a headline, not as a post, and not as a debate, but as a reflection. Because a mirror doesn't lie, it doesn't soften the truth, it shows you exactly where you are. So let's look. Let's go back. 1776. A nation is born on the idea that all men are created equal, and that was good. The belief, the vision, but at the very same time, there were people in chains. So even in our beginning, we were standing in contradiction. Good and not yet right. Fast forward 1861 to 1865, the Civil War, brother against brother, family split, blood on the soil, and then in a moment, a decision, the Emancipation Proclamation. Freedom declared. That was better. Not perfect, not complete, but a step forward because we chose, in the moment, to correct something we knew was wrong. But then comes Reconstruction and what followed, Jim Crow laws, designed not to unite, but to divide. Separate schools, separate buses, separate water fountains. And if you really think about it, that wasn't just policy, that was pain passed down through generations. That was your grandmother being told where she could sit, your grandfather being told where he could walk. That was dignity denied. And again, we stood at the crossroads. Then came the 1950s and 60s, people marching, people praying, people being beaten for asking to be treated like human beings. And then we chose again. The Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and that was better. We moved the needle, not because it was easy, but because enough people said, we will not live like this anymore. But the mirror kept watching. Vietnam, protests, distrust in leadership, then later, mass incarceration, the war on drugs, communities broken, families separated, and the mirror kept asking, are we learning or are we repeating? September 11th, 2001, a moment where the country stood still. Fear, grief, unity. For a brief moment, we saw what it looked like to come together, and that was good. But what followed? Wars, division, questions we're still asking today. And now we're here, right now, in a time where information is everywhere, but understanding feels rare, where people are talking, but not always listening, where we are more connected than ever, and somehow more divided than we've ever felt. So the mirror asks us, where are you now? Are you standing in peace? Are you standing in turmoil? Or are you standing on the edge of something that could go either way? Because history has shown us something very, very clear. Every generation gets a choice: good, better, best. And sometimes we get stuck trying to defend where we've been instead of deciding where we're going. So let's make this personal, not political, not theoretical, personal. Think about your family. Think about the stories you've heard, or maybe the ones nobody wanted to talk about. The hurt, the unfairness, the moments where someone you love was overlooked or mistreated or even silenced. Now ask yourself, do you want to recreate that? because that's what happens when we stop moving forward. The mirror doesn't just reflect, it repeats if nothing changes. And history has already shown us what happens to societies that refuse to evolve. They fall, not all at once, but slowly through division, through pride, through the inability to see each other as human again. So here we are at another crossroad. And the question isn't, what is America becoming? The question is, what are you becoming within America? Because a country is just a reflection of its people. So 1 year from now, where do you want to be? Do you want to be in a country that is louder but not better, more divided but more certain? Or do you want to be part of something that chose to listen a little more, to understand a little deeper, to move just a little bit closer to best? Because best doesn't mean perfect. Best means we kept going. Best means we learned from the past instead of repeating it. Best means we didn't let the mirror show the same ending it has shown to so many others before us. So, what can you do? Well, not everything, but something. You can choose not to dehumanize someone just because you disagree. You can choose to have one conversation that builds instead of breaks. You can choose to teach the next generation not just what happened, but why it matters. You can choose to interrupt the cycle because every time in history that we've moved forward, it wasn't because everyone agreed. It was because enough people decided to do what was right. And now it's our turn. So as you look into the mirror, USA, don't just see the past. Don't just criticize the present. Decide who you're going to be in the reflection of the future. And I want to leave you with this, because history doesn't just live in textbooks, it lives in choices. And we've seen what happens when people stay silent. So listen carefully. When they came for the socialists, I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. The mirror is watching. The question is, what will it show next?